Hi, I'm Kevin Kennedy with the Kennedy Law Firm. It's true, we are committed to helping people. Over 35 years ago, I was thinking about what would I do if I was in business, and I made that slogan up. We own that slogan, we're committed to helping people, and I've lived by that my entire career. If people had money, I wanted to help them. If they didn't have money, I can't help everybody, but we can give advice, and that's what the purpose of all this time of sharing with you. I wanted to talk about tort reform. I'm asked, I do television. I have quite a few interviews over the careers and been interviewed on tort reform. What is tort reform? You know, that's basically injuries, and where the insurance companies, their agenda is to try to keep the money from all the little people. Tort reform tries to close the courthouse doors to average working Americans. So you know, if I want to help average people, I want the courthouse doors to stay open. Why? Because we can hold big companies, insurance companies, accountable. If they ever say, we're going to have more tort reform because our insurance is so much, they do wonderful jobs of putting on campaigns trying to show to the world that all these frivolous lawsuits make their car insurance goes up. But when you're in the trenches like me and you see it every day, I will point this out to you. You go to every major city in the United States and you look for the biggest building in the city, many of them are owned by insurance companies. Well, guess what? How do they have so wonderful, big, magnificent buildings? That comes from lots of little people through premiums, and a good argument could be made that claims were made and they didn't pay the claim, or they paid less than what the claim is worth. So every time someone says, well, I think we ought to put limited liability limits on medical malpractice, no one should get more than $300,000 on pain and suffering. Well, let me explain that to you. If they know all they'll ever have to pay is $300,000, they will never pay the $3. They'll always pay less. If you go to court and you win, then they can appeal it. And if you go past the Court of Appeals, insurance companies have lots of resources. Some people would say they're almost unlimited resources. Then they can appeal it to the Supreme Court. And if there's some issue there, it can be brought back and tried all over again. Well, guess what? It costs lots and lots of money to pursue that. So what happens in tort reform? People come in and say, well, I was hurt. And because of tort reform, the lawyers won't take the case. One of the last vestiges of hope in America is the personal injury lawyer who gets it on a third. You don't have to have any money up front. They get their money off the insurance company, and it's a great partnership. It's worked for years and years. Every $1,000 they get, the lawyer will get $333, but more importantly, the client gets $667. Wow, that's a big difference. So the lawyer has a vested interest to pursue it. He's got a vested interest to invest his money, his time, his resource, his team. Someone said one time, Kevin, you've got an army. Well, you know, in my education, I have a master's degree with an emphasis in military history. And I've had some of the lawyers say, you're just such a strategist. You're always strategizing. I'm trying to put a spot together where we can get the maximum money settled without putting all our resources at risk. Strategist. I've spent my life developing it. I think about it every day, all day. Many times they say, Kevin, how do you even sleep? And I don't sleep because I'll stay up all night. And if I come up with an idea, I'll get up and write it down because it's so good, I don't want it to get away. So again, tort reform, it really gets down to this question. They label it tort reform, but it's insurance companies versus average working people. You should always side with the average working people. Even if you have money in stock in insurance companies, what does Kevin Kennedy say? Stay on the side of the average working people because that's what will keep America great. And I really believe that. I've evaluated. Keep the courthouse doors open. You know, when I say to an insurance company, I said, you owe this, you should pay it. They try to bully sometimes. We have no choice. We'll file suit tomorrow. That's the only way that I can bring them into reality to a point of negotiation. And then they'll press me, and once we file, they know we're serious, then we can go to the negotiation table and get it resolved. If the courthouse doors are closed, that tool is not available to me or to the working man in America. I'm Kevin Kennedy with the Kennedy Law Firm, and we're committed to helping people.